Hey guys, it's Mr. Wishahi again, and this will be our final tutorial for our blue Pythagorean theorem foldables. We're now in the last portion of our notes. This is for solving for the length of a leg. So before, we've been solving for a hypotenuse, or the C, and we've also been determining whether or not a triangle is a right triangle. And this is all using the Pythagorean theorem. So we're going to continue using the Pythagorean theorem in one way or the other. But look at this example right here. You notice that we have our C already. Remember, the C, the hypotenuse, is opposite of the right angle, and we have a leg. So we're actually solving for a leg in this example right here. You're still going to use your Pythagorean theorem, a squared plus b squared equals c squared, and you're just going to use it a little differently. So the first thing you want to do is label your sides. I know that this is going to be my C because it is opposite of my right angle. It's my hypotenuse. I'm going to label this A, and let's label this B. Okay, now I'm going to substitute any values I have into my formula. I know that A is 9, so 9 squared. We don't know B, and we know that C is 15, so 15 squared. So using your calculator, let's go ahead and calculate what we know. We know 9 squared is 81. Okay, 15 squared, that's going to be 225. And now you're going to treat it like an equation. You're going to solve for b. So let's go ahead and subtract 81 from each side. And that comes out to 144 equals b squared. But we don't want b squared, we actually want b. So we're going to unsquare this, or better yet, square root it. And that comes out to 12. So b equals 12. That means our missing leg has a length of 12. Okay, so that's how you could use the Pythagorean theorem. There's another way of using the formula, and it's actually called using the inverse. So inverse is the reverse, or the opposite way. So that means we're actually going to be subtracting. So let me write you the formula you could use. C squared minus a squared equals b squared. If you noticed, I switched my C and B, and then I'm subtracting as opposed to adding like we did in our first example. Alright, so let's look at this example. Again, you see that our hypotenuse is given. It's the longest line, opposite of the right angle. A leg is given, and we're missing the length of another leg. Put everything into your formula. C squared, which is 25 squared, minus a squared, which is 24 squared, equals b squared. So if you just enter it onto your calculator, 25 squared minus 24 squared, and that comes out to 49. We unsquare it, so we square root it, and I know that 7 squared is 49. So that means the missing length of this triangle is 7. So you have two ways to do it. So when you're solving for the length of a leg as opposed to a hypotenuse, you can still use your a squared plus b squared equals c squared formula. Just be sure you label your sides correctly and then solve for b using opposite operations, or in this case subtracting. Or you can use the inverse. So similar looking formula, just make sure you're taking your c squared and subtracting the square of one of your legs, and that'll get you b squared. So those are two different ways of solving for the length of a leg, and that does it for our notes on Pythagorean theorem. Hopefully this comes in handy. Feel free to rewatch this video. Feel free to watch the second video I posted on how to solve for the length of a leg, which gives you a few more examples. Okay guys, good luck.